Networking Squared, Saturday morning, taking care of business. Good
Every
call,
day.
Brian.
Do you have your TCB belt buckle on today, Jerry?
No, I don't. No, I don't have that. In fact,
He checked.
I'll have to just check. So, taking care of business, that's what we do. Having a great time in the studio on a Saturday morning. We appreciate you tuning in, and some of the things that we're learning and teaching. Al, let's talk a little bit about dog training and how all of that kind of transpired this week.
What we're looking at is that when Jerry and I are always talking to different people about networking, about what works and what doesn't work. And I was talking to somebody this week who really wasn't seeing a lot of benefit from his face-to-face networking. And we really started looking at that. And we were looking at it and saying, what are the things that you're doing and what's going on? And the first thing that we noticed was that he really he wasn't varying up his message. It was always, he was asking for something, and that was kind of the end of it. But he had a level of frustration. And so we really kind of looked at it and we said, where does this need to go? What are the things that we need to do? And so I had gone into this and I'd given him some thoughts on some different things that he needed to do, because I think in a lot of situations, people think what people's objections are. And in his situation, he felt that his price was going to be something that was prohibitive. But that's what his fear was. It doesn't mean that's what his customer's fear is. And so what we talked about was how to get away from that, how not to make price an issue. In my years in the mortgage business, it was never about price. It was about the picture afterwards. It was about the new mobile home. It was about the new boat or whatever. It wasn't about how much that boat costs. So it's that same art that we need in this situation is going to be, here's your dog who's a psycho, and here's what your dog is afterwards. How can you put a price on that? It's about the finished product.
Absolutely. And you have to think about that. So sometimes in business, we get in our own way, don't we?
We do. We do it all the time. And I hear this all the time is I'll ask people and I'll say, tell me about your business. And they'll give me these reasons. Well, I know I'm a little bit high priced, or I know it takes a little bit longer than others. People have their perceived issues. And what you can't do is you can't pass those on to people. You have to ask the questions. Ask people what they think the reasons are. Why aren't you buying from me?
All right, so this falls in with the fine art of shut up.
Yeah.
And that is one of the points. As you're asking questions, now all of a sudden that person sees that you are interested, and it doesn't look like you're shutting up. You're enabling other people to talk about their business.
And asking for input. And in most situations, you're around 15, 20 people that know you. And we've never taken that opportunity to ask them why. If somebody hasn't given you a referral, ask them why. Why haven't they? What you're going to find out most times is they don't get it. They don't understand what you do.
Well, when you your comment should never be, or this comment that's in the back of your head that, well, my price is going to be too much. What a great way to start the conversation. Well, I'd like to get more business, but my price is probably going to be too much.
Not a good way to start.
Not a good. It's not a good internal way to start, because you're already defeating yourself as you're talking to people. Explain what you do. They'll decide if the price point is too high.
Right. Price is not the issue. It is the benefit. It is the after. And let them make the decision if price is an issue.
So you want to solve somebody's problems. You want to solve somebody's issues. That's what you have. Now, Eric, as you talk about the dentist who would like to increase his practice and increase the size of his practice, that would be the issue. What is his issue? I would like to get a bigger footprint. Okay, that's the issue. How could we help that person?
Right. And what would happen, and what we see in most situations, is you would say to the dentist, who are your clients? And the first response is going to be anybody with teeth. Okay.
Right.
Well, that means nothing. What we have to do is now we have to bring that down. And now it has to be something where we look at the passion. What's the passion? There's always a reason why somebody became whatever they are.
Yes.
And now it's going to be something where maybe he specializes in elderly people, and his thing is dentures, and he creates the best dentures for elderly people. And so now what we're looking at is we can say, okay, if you have a loved one who's struggling with their false teeth and they're in pain, I have the solution. And so now we've taken it from anybody with teeth down to a specific genre of who we're looking for and who we can have that ask for.
Well, you are really, you're looking right at Erica. Does she have false teeth?
Nope.
No. Beautiful smile. Once again, we are on radio. Again, as we're talking about that, and because we are professionals at Networking Al and explaining that, if you have, do you have young children that haven't been to the dentist yet? All right, so the dentist is going, okay, I want to specialize, and I will specialize in making young children comfortable to come get their first cleaning. You're going, I know some people that would like to have kind of a family dentist start to take care of the young people. Or do you know somebody that has a fear of going to dentist? All right, everybody put your hand down.
Right, exactly.
So
I used to, but I love going to the dentist now.
do you just like getting that nice clean feel? And so those are the points you want to get across, not saying everybody that has teeth. So every time you're speaking to people, then talk about different issues. Again, what issue can I solve for you?
Right. If you have a business and if you started it because of a certain reason, push that reason. Or if you specialize in something, bring that to the table. You want to start with something that you're very confident about.
And then as you progress forward, now you start building on that. Now the next time that you're speaking to that group, you need to vary from it, because you don't want to be labeled that this is the only thing I do.
Right.
And this is what we hear a lot, is that people will have their specialty. And again, I met with a hospice person. They do hospice. And she's had the exact same 60-second for the last year and a half. And I'm indicating, well, how is that working? She's like, it's not. Then stop doing the same thing. If you keep saying the same thing, you could just bring a tape recording and play it.
Right.
You have to be able to educate and to help. And we've got Mike from Livonia wants to talk about how he overcame price points. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening interestingly to your show and Shirley, your screener. I've been in the food industry for 32 years, and I'm selling high-end food products where I've had objections from retailers, major retailers that operate in this area, trying to overcome price objections. And the one, when I got started in this business, the founder, he told us, this was a simple theory that he used. He said, quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. And
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Yeah, and so he just, reiterated that if somebody says no on because of cost, that you just have to explain to them that once the person is allowed to try this, that you're going to get them to be a repeat user. And like I say, I've gone through enough business cycles of boom and bust, and sure, things slow down, but quality in the food industry is one of the areas where people they'll make cuts in other parts of their lifestyles in order to still consume quality foods, and it's one thing. When I have an objection, if somebody says no, I ask them, why are you telling me no, so that I can then begin to work on what their objection is.
Well,
identify it.
You want to solve problems. Don't you look at that as I'm not here to argue about how much shrimp is going to cost or whatever you're selling.
And I want all white chicken.
But you want to help people overcome an issue. Isn't that really what you're selling?
Well, that's the only way you're going to grow your business, is to take the no's and turn them into yeses, but then you have to find out why they said no. Because if I'm only going to survive on the yeses, I understand, unless you get lucky and have enough yeses to support yourself. But some of my best customers started out as no's, and I pursued them, and maybe I didn't get all of their business to begin with. Maybe they said, hey, for whatever reason, he's persistent and he's trying to solve problems, and they appreciate that you're presenting them that you're of value to them, and so you start out with some of their business, and then maybe the person that was their major supplier for a very long time, for whatever reason, changes in within their organization. And you find yourself in a more favorable position to continue to pick up more business. So it's a constant evolution.
Mike, what company? If you don't do a little self plug there, what's the name of your company, bud?
I've been selling Bob Evans Farms food products for 32 years, and I mean it's something that I will tell you guys. I'm a street guy. I started out you see, I was peddling off the trucks, and then I've evolved into buying offices. I will tell you, it's been tough. I mean, I'm going up against a lot of young people now with bachelors and masters in statistical analysis, and instead of, they're more analysts than they are sales folks, like the era that I evolved in. I'm still trying to compete with them and trying to have enough of those types of skills to fend them off for a little while longer. But because I do find that sales is becoming more and more impersonal and more data-driven. So people with the sales style that I've had over the years is that I actually truly became concerned about what my customer was trying to accomplish, and try to work those means where
that's the solving problem issue, not just selling. So, Mike, hey, we appreciate you calling, and keep up the good work out there and overcome price points. Jerry Olson here, Networking Squared. We're going to slide out for a quick break. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in.